Hello students. So today we come to the revision on glycogenolysis. So glycogenolysis, you all know, it is the breakdown of glucose. Breakdown of glycogen into glucose. So today we will just see only few slides and make you understand all the glycogenolysis process. So glycogenolysis, that is glycogen, lysis is breakdown. So it is the breakdown of glycogen into glucose. Breakdown of glycogen to glucose is known as glycogenolysis. It occurs in liver and muscles. So mainly two organs, that is liver and muscle. And if we see cell organally, then it is cytoplasm and small portion in lysosomes. So main enzyme for glycogenolysis is phosphorylase enzyme, which is rate limiting enzyme in muscle, liver and brain. Glycogen phosphorylase is the cardiac, BB is the cardiac biomarker, and coenzyme in this glycogen phosphorylase enzyme is pyridoxal phosphate, PLP. Then muscle phosphorylase is not affected by glucagon and requires 4 molecules or pyridoxal phosphate for its activity. Calcium ion, calmodulin can bring about glycogenolysis in muscle and liver, and it is independent of cyclic AMP. Now the first step. In the first step we see that it is a phosphorylase action in which we will see the all one by one glucose are removed as glucose 1-phosphate. So this enzyme breaks 1,4 bonding and removes all glucose molecule in the form of glucose 1-phosphate. Then second step is transfer of trisaccharides. In the second step you can see this yellow color trisaccharides. They are transferred from this branch to the just next neighboring branch in form of trisaccharides. So in presence of enzyme, that is glucane transferase, and then the third step, it is the action of debranching enzyme. This debranching enzyme now removes the 1,6 bonding at the branch point and removes the glucose from in form of free glucose. You can see all the steps here. This is the highly branched glycogen. We have taken here only 2 branches. So the first branch, from the first branch, all the glucose in form of glucose 1-phosphate are removed. They are removed in form of glucose 1-phosphate until the last 4 glucose are present. After that, in form of trisaccharide, these 3 glucose molecule in presence of glucane transferase enzyme are transferred to just next neighboring branch, and after that the third step in debranching enzyme, it removes the branch point glucose also in form of free glucose. And now this glucose 1-phosphate, it is converted into glucose 6-phosphate in form of in presence of enzyme mutase, and then in liver this glucose 6-phosphate is converted into glucose, because phosphatase enzyme, glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme, that is present only in liver, therefore gluconeogenesis occurs in liver. This we have seen that glucose 1-phosphate in presence of mutase enzyme is converted into glucose 6-phosphate. This glucose 6-phosphate in presence of glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme, it is converted into free glucose. This reflects rise in blood glucose. So only liver is responsible for this rise in glucose or sugar. Muscle cannot participate in the increase in blood sugar level. In muscle this enzyme is absent, hence it does not contribute to blood glucose directly, but indirectly in form of lactic acid. This lactic acid is converted into glucose in liver, and in this way it increases glucose indirectly. Then regulation of glycogenolysis. Insulin favors glycogenesis by dephosphorylating, whereas enzyme is glycogen synthase, whereas insulin does not favor glycogenolysis. So it favors glycogenesis, that is glycogen synthase activity को it increases. Then glucagon and epinephrine, it favors glycogenolysis by phosphorylating glycogen phosphorylase enzyme. This glycogen phosphorylase active in the phosphorylated state. Then insulin, it dephosphorylates glycogen synthase and glycogen phosphorylase enzyme. Glycogen synthase is active in the dephosphorylated state, whereas glycogen phosphorylase is active in the dephosphorylated state. So glycogen is synthesized. Glucagon, it phosphorylates glycogen phosphorylate and glycogen synthase. So these both are, glycogen phosphorylase is active in phosphorylated state, whereas glycogen synthase is inactive in phosphorylated state. So glycogen synthase becomes inactive by glucagon, whereas glycogen phosphorylate is active in presence of glucagon. So glycogenolysis is activated by glucagon and glycogen genesis is activated by insulin. The rate limiting steps in these are glycogen synthase and glycogen phosphorylase. Now we see glycogenolysis and glycogenesis. In glycogenolysis, epinephrine and glucagon favors the breakdown of glycogen, whereas insulin favors the synthesis of glycogen. In liver and muscle, you can see glycogen is converted into glucose 6-phosphate. It is favored by glycogen phosphorylase enzyme, and in liver, glucose 6-phosphate, ATP and glucose, this inhibits glycogen phosphorylase enzyme, whereas glucose 6-phosphate it stimulates glycogen synthase. In muscles, glucose 6-phosphate and ATP inhibits glycogen phosphorylase, whereas you can see calcium and AMP, they stimulate glycogen phosphorylase enzyme and hence conversion of glucose 6-phosphate, whereas glucose 6-phosphate it stimulates glycogen synthase enzyme. So now we can see the regulation. Glucagon and epinephrine converts adenylate cyclase. It activates adenylate cyclase. This adenylate cyclase, it converts ATP into cyclic AMP. This cyclic AMP converts inactive protein kinase into active protein kinase. This active protein kinase, it activates phosphorylase kinase into active form, and this phosphorylase kinase then converts it activates glycogen phosphorylase, and in this way glycogenolysis is favored, whereas glycogenolysis is inhibited because it converts glycogen phosphorylase into inactive form, then glycogenolysis will be inhibited. So here you can see there are 4 steps. G protein, glucagon and epinephrine, it activates cyclic adenylate cyclase, then adenylate cyclic enzyme, it converts ATP into cyclic AMP. This cyclic AMP activates protein kinase. This protein kinase activates phosphorylase kinase. This phosphorylase kinase activates glycogen phosphorylase. So you can see this blue color, it is active form, and this pink color, it is inactive form. So epinephrine, it activates adenylate cyclase, which converts cyclic AMP. Cyclic AMP activates protein kinase, it activates phosphorylase kinase, and ultimately phosphorylase enzyme is active, whereas it activates protein kinase, and glycogen synthase enzyme is inactive. So this inactive glycogen synthase, so glycogenesis will be inhibited, whereas glycogenolysis will be stimulated by epinephrine and glucagon. Now we come to the questions. So All India 2008, in which of the following tissue is glycogen incapable of contributing directly to blood glucose? It is liver, muscle, both or none. So in which tissue glycogen is incapable of contributing directly to blood glucose? So which is that? That is muscle. In liver contributes directly to blood glucose level, whereas muscle cannot because it does not have phosphatase enzyme. Then second question, it was in Kerala 2006. In human, carbohydrates are stored as which form? It is in form of glucose, in form of glycogen, in form of starch, or in form of cellulose. And the answer you all know, in humans it is stored in the form of glycogen. In plants it is stored in the form of starch. So in human it is stored in the form of glycogen. Then next question, it was in AIIMS November 2015. So glycogen phosphorylase can be regulated by following except cyclic AMP, calmodulin, protein kinase A and glycogenic. So all this cyclic AMP, calmodulin and protein kinase, these three all are regulators in glycogen phosphorylase enzyme. The answer is glycogenin, which does not help in regulating glycogen phosphorylase enzyme. The next question, it was in AIIMS November 2015. Cofactor for glycogen phosphorylase is thymine pyrophosphate, pyridoxal phosphate, citrate or FAD, and the answer is thymine pyrophosphate. Then NBE pattern questions. How many hours for depleting of glycogen? So it is 9 hours, 18 hours, 24 hours or 48 hours, and the answer is 18 hours. This question was present in AIIMS May 1993. In the fed state, major fate of glucose 6-phosphate in tissue is storage as fructose, storage as glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, enters HMP shunt via ribulose 5-phosphate, or it is storage as glycogen. So in the fed state, glucose 6-phosphate, the major source for glucose 6-phosphate is storage as glycogen. The next question, which of the following is a debranching enzyme? Glycogen synthase, glucose 6-phosphatase, amylo 1,6 glucosidase, amylo 1,4,1,6 transglycosylase, and the answer is debranching enzyme. What is the name of that debranching enzyme? So it is amylo 1,6 glucosidase. Then this question was in PGI June 97 and December 96. The sequence of events in glycogenolysis: phosphorylase, then glucan transferase, and then debranching enzyme. So this is the, you all know it is the correct sequence. First the enzyme is glycogen phosphorylase enzyme, then it is glucan transferase enzyme which transfers trisaccharide, and then debranching enzyme. So the answer is phosphorylase, glucan transferase and debranching enzyme, that is A. Now the last question, muscle glycogen cannot contribute to blood glucose. The reason can be absence of phosphatase enzyme in muscle, presence of phosphatase enzyme in muscle, or absence of phosphatase enzyme in liver, or presence of phosphatase enzyme in liver. So muscle glycogen cannot contribute because it does not have phosphatase enzyme. So it is absence of phosphatase enzyme in muscle. So thank you very much. So you can also watch the next videos on all the revision on all the metabolic pathways. Thank you very much.